Hollywood, where dreams come true and identities get a full makeover. For decades, Tinseltown's sparkle came with strings. Be fabulous, but hide who you really are. Queer? Ethnic? Using your real name? Cute, now go wait backstage till Middle America's ready. It's 2025, and while authenticity trends on TikTok, the industry's past is a masterclass in reinvention and erasure. Welcome to the Daily Dose of 10, where we're spilling the sequin tea on 10 stars who had to play pretend just to stay in the spotlight. Number 10. Ben Kingsley. Ben Kingsley didn't just master Shakespeare, he mastered the art of reinvention. Born Krishna Vanji, he learned early that Hollywood wasn't exactly rolling out the red carpet for actors with names that screamed heritage. Casting directors weren't lining up for a Vanji. They wanted a Ben, preferably with a dash of British charm and a resume full of dramatic flair. So, like a true performer, he transformed. Poof, Krishna became Ben, and suddenly he was everyone's go-to for gravitas. The wild twist? He won an Oscar for playing Mahatma Gandhi, the symbol of Indian identity and pride. Imagine hiding your roots only to be celebrated for embodying them. Talk about dramatic irony worthy of Shakespeare himself. Number 9. Rita Hayworth. Once hailed as the love goddess of the silver screen, Rita Hayworth had a secret. She wasn't born with that name, or even that hairline. Originally Margarita Carmen Cancino, her first studio emphasized her Spanish roots, renaming her Rita Canino and having her played various exotic characters. But when she moved to Columbia Pictures, Hollywood went full extreme makeover. Heritage Edition. Her Latin identity was swept under the red carpet. They altered her hairline through electrolysis, dyed her hair auburn, and gave her a fresh surname, Hayworth. And voila, America's sweetheart, just not her real self. Number 8. Wayne Brady. Wayne is the guy who can sing, dance, improvise, and host, all before breakfast. His charm is so universal, he probably could broker world peace during a Whose Line sketch. So when he came out as pansexual at 51, fans were both supportive and stunned. Why wait so long? Shame, Brady admitted. For years, he feared his true identity would clash with the family-friendly entertainer image that made him a household name. But once he embraced who he was, it wasn't just brave, it was beautiful. Proof that it's never too late to live your truth. Number 7. Martin Sheen. Martin wasn't born with a name that screamed presidential or West Wing royalty. Nope, he entered the world as Ramon Antonio Gerardo Esteves. But Hollywood took one look, or rather one listen, and said, thanks, but next. Casting calls dried up faster than a script rewrite whenever his real name came up. So he played the game and rebranded as Martin Sheen just until he got his big break. Spoiler, that temporary alias became a lifelong label. He found fame, but also carried the weight of having hidden his heritage to get there. Years later, he admitted he wished he'd stayed true to his roots. Thankfully, his son Emilio Estevez kept the family name alive and proved that Latino identity doesn't need a stage name to shine. Turns out, talent doesn't need translation. Number 6. Barry Manilow. Barry Manilow, king of the tear-jerking ballad and the reason half of your aunt's wedding playlist exists, had a love story of his own that fans never heard until much later. While his psalms poured out romance like confetti, behind the curtain, he was quietly living a life far more private than his chart toppers let on. Why the secrecy? Barry feared that revealing he was gay would send his swooning, mostly female fan base running for the exits faster than a karaoke machine breaking mid-chorus. But in 2017, he finally came out and dropped another surprise. He'd been married to his manager, Gary Keefe, since 2014. The fans still here, still cheering, probably mailing homemade brownies. Turns out they didn't mind who he loved, as long as he kept hitting those high notes. Number 5. Kristen Stewart. Kristen Stewart might have played a love-struck teen in Twilight, but real life wasn't exactly a fairy tale. Unless your fairy tales come with PR nightmares and secret hand-holding. As her star power rose, so did the whispers. Don't be too gay, don't hold your girlfriend's hand, and definitely don't dream of spandex and superpowers. Apparently, being queer could ruin her shot at playing a Marvel hero, because nothing says unrealistic like a lesbian saving the universe, right? But by 2019, Kristen tossed the rulebook out the window and proudly introduced her fiancé, Dylan Meyer, to the world. No closet, no apologies, just red carpet realness. And honestly, if Marvel doesn't hand her a cape soon, we're assembling a rainbow-powered riot. Number 4. Ricky Martin. Back in the 90s and 2000s, Ricky Martin was the heartthrob. But amid the smoldering looks and hip-shaking hits, rumors swirled about his sexuality. And for years, he refused to answer, because saying, "Yes, I'm gay," could have ended his career. He finally came out in 2010, after becoming a father and reflecting while writing his memoir. The relief? Immediate. The support? Overwhelming. He even said he wished he'd done it 10 years earlier. Now he's an LGBTQ+ advocate, father of 4, and still drop-dead gorgeous. Icon behavior. Number 3. Elliot Page. Elliot Page went from indie darling to superhero to full-blown icon, not just for his acting chops, but for his fearless authenticity. Before coming out as transgender in 2020, he had already braved the public eye in 2014 as gay, all while dodging unsolicited outings. Looking at You, Brett Ratner, and enduring red carpets that felt more like catwalks of forced femininity. High heels? More like high-stakes emotional warfare. But post-transition, Page found something Hollywood rarely offers: peace. The Umbrella Academy didn't just accept the real Elliot, it celebrated him, updating his character to match his journey. Now, with every role and every red carpet, he's flipping the script on what it means to be a leading man in Hollywood, and honestly, it's about time. Number 2. Merle Oberon. If you thought Hollywood was all glitz and glamour, Merle Oberon's story adds a generous splash of scandal and heartbreak. This dazzling 1930s starlet, born in what is now Mumbai, India, feared that her mixed-race background would block her from stardom faster than you can say box office poison. So, she pulled off one of the most jaw-dropping makeovers in Tinseltown history, rewriting her origin story entirely and claiming to be from Tasmania. Talk about a plot twist worthy of an Oscar. With carefully curated lies, she charmed her way into lead roles while hiding her truth like it was smuggled gold. It wasn't until long after she left the spotlight and this planet that the real Merle was unmasked. Her life remains a cautionary tale wrapped in red lipstick and studio gloss, proving that sometimes chasing fame means leaving pieces of yourself behind in the shadows. Number 1. Rock Hudson. Rock Hudson was the ultimate 1950s heartthrob. Jawline chiseled by the gods, a smile that made housewives swoon, and a secret bigger than any of his blockbuster romances. While he lit up the screen alongside Doris Day, behind the scenes he was playing his most difficult role yet, a man hiding his true self. To keep the gossip columns at bay, he even entered into a lavender marriage with his agent's secretary. A Hollywood plot twist if there ever was one. His sexuality was whispered about in industry circles, but never confirmed, until 1985, when he bravely revealed his HIV diagnosis, becoming the first major celebrity to do so. Just months later, he passed away, but his final act was perhaps his most powerful. It cracked open a long-ignored national conversation about AIDS, homophobia, and fear, and proved that even in silence, Hudson had been a trailblazer. His legacy? A leading man who changed the narrative, not just the scene. If you enjoyed this video through Hollywood's hidden hall of mirrors, hit that like button like it's a studio executive rethinking their life choices. Don't forget to subscribe for more untold stories, sparkle, and a side of sass. And ring that bell, because fabulous truth bombs like these deserve a front row seat.